Yeah. Okay. Bring them in. Bring them in. Bring them in. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy K with your mama's number one draft pick. Yes, sir. We are here. Another Tuesday. That's right. October the 14th. Um, what a day to be alive, man. Hope everybody enjoyed their day off. If you had a day off, if you're one of those people who works at an essential position where Columbus Day was celebrated pretty much universally. Now we ain't gonna get into the depths of Columbus Day because we know he didn't really find nothing. He just popped up and there was people already here and they was having a good time, and then so on and so forth took place once Columbus found it. But I'll take a little bit on the chin for him, you know what I'm saying, so to speak, as Columbus gave me the opportunity to have a day off, which gave me some time to plan and get ready to talk about a couple things. What's going on, y'all? You know what it is, man. It's the Rec Room Sports Hub. It's your boy K Whit, and I got the home team with me today. And like normal, we love to bring to you all types of sports, not just the ones that we're most interested in, but the ones that you might not be thinking about the most. But the funny thing is, one of the things that took the nation by storm this summer was hockey, bro. And it's funny to say hockey and summer, but this summer that was more so true than ever. I vividly remember us having conversations about what's going to happen in a few years when we get back to the Olympics, what's going on with these summer games, and now we're getting right back into it feels like the Stanley Cup just happened. I feel like the Stanley Cup was just a month ago. You know what I'm saying? But that's how the hockey players get down. They get off the ice, they get back on the ice, injuries and all, it doesn't matter. And if somebody who's always working just as hard as any hockey player that I know, I got to bring in my guy, Jim Biringer, in the building. Jim, what's going on, bro? How you doing?
Hey, you know what's up, brother, man? You know, like you said. Yeah, you know what's going on. Blessed to be alive, blessed to be here. Glad to jump on with you guys again. I know it's been a while. Last time we talked, we coming off the Four Nations, baby. We're talking about that. That's what took the nation by storm.
Crazy.
Everybody was getting into the hockey, but we've been telling you for a long time, the NHL is the best. I think everybody's starting to figure it out, baby.
And you know, there are different things where we can pinpoint hockey is great. And I think there's a couple things that you can talk to me about in just a minute. But right now, bro, this is what we got, man. We're gonna light the lamp with my guy, man, Jim Biringer. Of course, you know, the NHL season just started last week. And so for me and the rest of the gang, I want you just to kind of not necessarily give us all of the keys to what's going on in 2025. But since the season started, what's some of the things that jump out to you that you just want to tell the people here in Rec Room about, bro?
Yeah, well, so we know we got hockey, right? And you guys like football, basketball. Those guys got 4 quarters, but we got 3 periods. And in the first period when we dropped the puck, I'm looking at the Panthers, defending Stanley Cup champs 2 times. They're dealing with a lot of injuries this year, right? They're dealing with Matthew Tkachuk. He's going to be out to December, January. Alexander Barkov's, he's going to be out most of the season, torn ACL, MCL. Panthers really haven't announced if he's going to be done for the year or not. They're dealing with a ton of injuries. Was down in Florida for the banner raising. They're going to be grinding games out, but they're still the champs. They're still a playoff team. They're still looking good. Let's see how many injuries they actually can overcome. How many is too many? Healthy bodies, can they lose? But that's where we drop the puck. When we move on to period 2, Seattle, Kraken. I was not high on this team coming into the season. I've talked to some people out there. They're like, you're gonna be a little bit surprised. I was like, okay, but I still don't think they're a playoff team. Been watching this team closely. They took on the Canadians tonight, fell in overtime. But the offensive output this team is putting up, they're averaging 4 goals a game. Again, it's still early sample size, but again, I thought the biggest issue for Seattle this year would be scoring goals, not defending. And they're putting the puck in the net early. Let's see if it can sustain what they're doing. Obviously, you got to look at in the third period. We move over Alexander Ovechkin, right? We saw what he did last year. Ovi, the grade 8, he hit and passed Wayne Gretzky's goal mark. Does that make him the greatest player ever in the game? Probably not. Makes him the greatest goal scorer in the game. But Ovi, can he get to 900 this year? Can he get past 900? Can he go even further? That's a guy for me that I'm watching as the regulation comes to an end. However, sometimes we need a little OT. Need to go to overtime. I'm gonna give you a bonus one.
Oh, wait. Don't go to OT yet. Guess what we gonna do? We gonna hit the button. Wait a minute.
This is Rec Room Sports. Olympians carrying the torch, going where they don't go. We ain't lost. From the optics to the topics, we got this with synopsis. Think outside the boxes like Jay on the mic or your boy K Whit. Joe is my coach, T Sweat on the mix. All sports, even if you catch fish like Nate Diaz catches fists. You need to catch this episode, it's a can't miss. We go live and you should subscribe and X's and O's. We made our plan, yo.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Whoa, we can't. That's a little too early. We can't do that one, but it's definitely the Rec Room Sports Crew. We right here to build it, man, with my guy, Biringer. I don't know if you know, but we were just going over 3 things that we should be paying attention to in the warm-up for the NHL 2025-26 season. And I think, if you said, just because we had to start over, kind of sort of, you got an extra one for us?
I do. Yeah. See, this one's been percolating since last year, and it carried over into the rumor mill into the summer, and it's gonna keep carrying over. And it's a guy, 87, Sidney Crosby, one of the best players to ever play the game, gonna be future Hall of Famer, 3-time Stanley Cup winner. Does he finish his career with the Pittsburgh Penguins? A lot of chatter out there. Could he get traded? Will he leave? Could he leave? Does he want to leave? Doesn't want to leave, but will he force the hand and go and try to win another championship someplace? That's, to me, that's a major storyline.
I dig it, man. And the crazy thing is, I vividly remember things like Sid the Kid in Pittsburgh. He is like Sid the grown man now. There's no more Sid the Kid. He's put in his time. In basketball and football, we see guys who are tenured players, long-term guys, stay with the team throughout their careers, and then for them to go to another team, it seems absurd or unheard of, or it even looks, wild. Series, not even series, but decades before, of course, people could talk about Joe Montana leaving the 49ers and going to Kansas City. Eventually, everybody has to make decisions. In basketball, Tim Duncan flirted with leaving the Spurs. It didn't necessarily happen. But Michael Jordan ended up in a Wizards jersey. Shaq ended up going from Orlando to LA. We can go on and name several things. If there was a spot where Sidney Crosby could use his talents on the ice for another team, where would you put him at, though?
All right, so I got a couple spots for him. There's 2 that come to mind. I know I got a lot of people. This is the big one. Everybody in Montreal is loving this one. Montreal and Crosby, match made in heaven. They love him up there. That was his hometown team. That's where I think a lot of Habs fans, they need a second-line center, So, hey, see, there you go, Tanner, baby. I told you, I bring the insight, baby. There it is, big winner right there. You look at it and you say that, to me, is a spot they could use them. Habs on the cusp, make a playoffs. Last year, this is the year they're going to consistently be a playoff team. Canadians, and obviously you go over to Colorado, play with Nate McKinnon, his dog.
Ooh.
From Team Canada. The guys train together, the Nova Scotia boys. If Barkov is out for the whole year, would I see Crosby down there or Malkin? Yeah, I could see it. But Montreal, Colorado, to me, are the guys in the clubhouse.
Montreal, Colorado. Once again, we're here with my guy, Jim Biringer. We lighting the lamp. NHL 2025-26 season preview. Somewhere in my mind, I gotta think about certain things about when it comes to hockey, right? You got to keep an eye out for players like Connor McDavid from the Edmonton Oilers, who's been on an incredible run. A new talent in the league, Ivan Demidov, if I'm not correct. If I'm
You
correct.
got his name right, Demidov, baby.
Yeah, you should see the guys on Wednesday make me do all of these Dagestanian names. I'm kind of good at it. And then, of course, he's expected to make a big splash his rookie season. One of the things I really give hockey credit for, and it's not as though the skill sets are different. I'm sure it's faster. The guys are larger, but hockey has a really good way of putting their rookies out so that, we can kind of see how good they are, the McDavids. And one time, of course, like we talked about, Sid the Kid and so on and so forth. Is Demidov the next one we should be keeping our eyes out for, bro?
Yeah, I mean, I loved what I saw from Ivan Demidov last year with the Montreal Canadiens. Came in at the end of last season with Montreal, and he's light the world on fire, scored. He had a goal actually here as we're recording, as the Habs won in overtime. Demidov, a lot of people peg him to win the Calder Trophy as NHL Rookie of the Year this year. He's playing well. Lane Hudson has best game since he signed his new deal. Lane Hudson won the Calder Trophy last year as Rookie of the Year, setting records as rookie defenseman. As Habs, 60 assists, 66 points. I mean, this guy is just unbelievable. The Canadians are set up so well. Demidov, they brought him over from Russia, got him out of his contract, bring him over, and he plays with, they're playing with Caulfield. He's playing with, on the second line right now. Kirby Docs, got New Hook there. There's chemistry with these guys. Demidov, they love their Russian players up there in Montreal. They love their elite players, their skilled players. This kid is going to be a special talent for the Montreal Canadiens, and they got another guy coming, one of their draft picks, playing in the KHL right now. So they got a lot of talent. Jeff Gordon and Kent Hughes have done this thing the right way. Like you've mentioned, we've seen McDavid come in, generational talent. We've seen Austin Matthews come in. We've seen Sidney Crosby. I was at Sidney Crosby's first game in the National Hockey League against the New Jersey Devils. Really good player, I could tell it. And like you said, here's the thing, like the hockey is different because it allows the rookies to come in and teams to rebuild, unlike other sports like the NFL, for instance.
Mm-hmm.
You can't rebuild your team. Like Matthew Schaefer, number 1 overall pick, hasn't missed a beat. There's a lot of guys that come into the league and you get that 9-game look on your entry-level deal. And if you don't make it after 9 games, you go back to junior or you go down to the A and stuff like that. And so that allows these teams to develop their prospects the right way. And we're seeing that with guys in Montreal. We're seeing with the Michael Misas. We saw it with Macklin Celebrini in San Jose. So there's a lot of good things that we get from the National Hockey League, from the NHL draft. And these GMs know how to find this talent. That's why you scout, pro scouts, amateur scouts. You pick your guys that fit in. And that's a kid that's going to be really good, Demidov.
Wow, man. Hey, Jim, first of all, big shouts out to you for coming in and, making way for the home team today. Bringing us in the right way with that energy. Of course, you know what I'm saying? You're a hockey guy. You're coming off as rowdy and ready to go as I can tell you, because first of all, there's no other way to present hockey other than having that energy. So first of all, we do appreciate you, bro. Is there anything else you want to throw in there that we should be keeping an eye out for? Because of course, it's just what they just laid.
Yeah, I mean, last week they just opened the season. I mean, it's such a small sample size right now. Can the Oilers get back? I mean, Connor McDavid only signs a short-term deal, like 2 years, puts the team on notice, says, "Hey, what do we like? Can you get me something here? Let's get something together." Stuart Skinner again, gets the shutout. Rangers can't score a goal on home ice right now. It's unbelievable what's happening there. It's just, again, so early in the season, but what some of these teams that play, right? Like can the Toronto Maple Leafs survive without Mitch Marner? It seems like they can, right? Can they do that, right? So let's see if they can do it. Matthew Nice stepping up huge. Easton Cowan, Matthews. We got all these guys there in Toronto. That's a team I'm watching. I've circled them in the Atlantic Division. Can they play well? Again, Montreal's a team I'm watching. Is Detroit going to finally make the playoffs this year? Todd McClellan, even though it was the first game, team didn't play well, lays into his team in the media, and they've bounced back with a couple of wins. Colorado, we know is going to be there. Like, again, so early, but can Chicago kind of maintain with their young blood? Connor Bedard's there, Frankie Nazar, like a lot of young talent. But this league, it's so crazy with the National Hockey League. So much young talent is here that's starting to take over that every night is must watch.
Man, and listen, if every night is must watch, then one of the nights that I just so happened to stumble on earlier in the makings of this season was Marc-Andre Fleury's last game. I think
That was fun.
You know, and seeing him out there doing his thing, being a goalie one more time for the Pittsburgh Penguins. As y'all know, I'm a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, so I had to pay attention to that one. So just like we had to say goodbye to Marc-Andre Fleury, I want to say goodbye to my guy, Jim. Jim, man, thanks for coming in here and setting us up for a great show, man. Don't forget, do me a big favor. Tell the people where we can find you at on your podcast and when you like to do your thing at, bro.
All right, yeah. So I am on at Jim Biringer on Twitter, so that's where I am. But go up onto YouTube. Full Press Hockey is my podcast. There, I drop some things on Specialty Media, also on YouTube as well. You can see me regular contributor on TSN 690 in Montreal with Simon Salikas and with the rest of the gang when they asked me to talk hockey. SiriusXM NHL Network Radio. Find me on Instagram, JerseyJim33 with the nightcap recap up there as well. Full Press Media, Full Press NHL as well. So that's where you can find me. NHL Rumors is the place where you can get my work along with Full Press Media up on Substack. So I'm everywhere. I could be like Kirk Signetti and be like, you can just Google me, but I don't want to do that to your fans because I respect everybody here, and that's where you can find my work. I mean, it's a lot of spots, but I post it all on my Twitter, so follow along there because it's gonna be a wild ride. Every night before I go to bed, and then sometimes in the morning, I've been doing this for the last probably 4 seasons now. Every morning, NHL observations drop from the night before's games just to tell the fans in the world what's been going on. I do it from the start of the regular season all the way to the last game of the Stanley Cup Final. It is a long time, but it's fun and it's different, and I hope you guys enjoy it.
Hey, man, thanks for putting us on point. Hey, look, matter of fact, one of my guys in the green room actually has a question I see. Okay, so it looks like – so first of all, let me go ahead and get his introduction on out the way. Of course, if you don't know, Cleveland is home, but Las Vegas is home. We're talking about the guy from Audible Sports Podcast. That's right. We're life and culture meet sports all at the same time in one big pot. Let's bring him up, man. My guy, Bobby G.
Yeah, what up? Just much respect to Jim. Dude doesn't mean I've seen him before. Dude, he's the hockey king. If I ever have a hockey question, that's where I'm going.
Much love to you, brother. Much love to you, brother.
Absolutely.
A lot of people have come on LTS. Let's Talk Sports. I've done it with a lot of people. Everybody asks me about hockey, and people have just mad respect for the knowledge, and I appreciate everybody out there. It's a grind. I do my best, and I bring it in a way that's fun and entertaining, and I hope everybody enjoys it. And thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So being a novice hockey fan myself, I was born and raised in Cleveland.
No hockey team there, not there for a while. Cleveland Barons was the last team. That's been a while.
Yep, but in
Cleveland Monsters, good AHL team though.
Yeah, from what I hear. 2012 relocated to Vegas.
Yeah.
So I was blessed with a hockey team, Golden Knights.
Yeah, good team, good squad.
Absolutely. What is your season outlook for the Golden Knights this year?
All right, so big year for Golden Knights. I got them playoff team, probably going to win the division, Pacific Division, like the addition of Mitch Marner. Defense a little slow and older, but Pietrangelo, it's a tough injury to overcome. But I like Bruce Cassidy as a coach. I thought he got an unfair job. Raw deal in Boston when he left. Really good coach, won a Stanley Cup. Very happy for him that he won it in Vegas. I think if they can get an upgrade in goal, I think it would be good. I still see them as a Stanley Cup contender. I just don't see who else in the West could really knock them off. I know Edmonton's there, Dallas, but again, you got to prove yourself. Vegas proven themselves to be a consistent winner. Kelly McCrimmon, love what he's done as GM. George McPhee out there. Bill Foley, have mad respect for them, what they do. It's a business to them. I love Kelly McCrimmon's quote, I'm in the winning business, not the hockey business. So you expect when you go there as a player, your tenure might not be there that long, depending on if they like the fit. I like what Vegas did, kind of changed their model a little bit.
Mhm.
They were really defense heavy first, kind of the misfits. Now they've turned into a skill team, fast with Marner. I like Marner, the addition of Marner. Jack Eichel's probably one of the best players in the game right now. What a draft pick when Buffalo got him, but what a trade for the Vegas Golden Knights, allowing to get him that surgery, come in there, show him why he's one of the best players in the world and why, Team USA has a shot at the Olympics this year to win a gold medal. Like the Pavel Dorofeyev is just unbelievable. That kid, if you don't have him on your fantasy team or you're not playing daily fantasy, you've got to try to figure out a way to get that guy. All he does is pick up points and goals. The team, Vegas is going to be a playoff team. I expect them to make a deep playoff run this year.
Nice. Because I'm officially laying down the challenge to Green Bay. Vegas is title town, USA. I mean, we've had professional sports only since 2018. We have not 1, not 2, not 3, 4 championships from our professional teams in 7 years.
I mean, and the Vegas Golden Knights went to the Stanley Cup final in their first
year, yeah.
In existence. That's never no. Take that back. The Buffalo Sabres did it. St. Louis did it. But, first year in existence, first expansion team to go to the Stanley Cup final.
Yeah. So, yeah, look out, Green Bay. We coming for that moniker.
I mean, a lot of title towns in USA though. Like Pittsburgh calls himself title town.
Pittsburgh.
But they got history. We got 7 years in. We got 4 chips.
I mean,
wait till LeBron gets his hands on the NBA team. That's next.
We just need to get rid of the Raiders. That's all.
Raiders should have never left.
Send them back to where they came from.
Yeah. That's it, baby.
Hey man, Jim, thanks again, bro. Hey, you smashed it, you killed it. We're gonna make a line change.
Line change, baby. Hockey. I love the phrase. I love the talk.
Hey man, Jim, once again, if you don't know now, you know Jim Bear. Jim, find him on Twitter. Make sure you follow him, check him out. We got him all the time right here. And don't worry, Jim, we're gonna bring you back. We got some more to talk about later, okay, bro?
All right, later, brother. We'll talk to you guys. Take care.
Thanks again, bro.
Peace.
Man, yeah, Jim Bear, that's my guy right there, man. Always
solid dude.
Always willing to come in, have a quick convo about some hockey. If you ever have any questions, because I'm gonna tell you, even as a novice, I get on that NHL 24-25. It's your behind, bro. Are you done on the sticks? If I get you on that NHL, bro, it's a wrap. I promise you. Anyway, you know how we do, man. Once again, it's your boy K with your mama's number one draft kick. That is Bobby G, of course, of the Audible Sports Podcast. We got the home team waiting for us to finish the line change right now. So, of course, I got to go ahead and bring them in. We got AP Alan Parrell is in the building. Alan, what's going on, sir? How we doing?
What's up, guys?
Had to switch it up real quick, catch you off guard. But Alan, man, I know you just got finished with the on demand. How was the on demand show tonight? Everything all good? Crown Jewel talk?
I mean, after what we saw last night, there's a lot to talk about. So it's going to be a crazy next few months.
Wow,
going on in the world of professional wrestling. So I'm excited for it.
Yeah, listen, I've been catching a lot of the residual of what's been happening for the last maybe 3-4 days. Then we got 4 more John Cena appearances and all kinds of stuff like that. I'm slightly excited as a rejuvenating my interest wrestling fan. So thanks for coming.
We just had the Dudleys officially retire this past
week.
Yes,
oh my God. Oh, that was just I could have cried for that, man.
Shout out to Scott Cope for being live for that show too.
Oh, Scott was there?
He was there at Bound for Glory watching that match. So
nice.
Shout out to Scott, man. Uncle Scott getting out of the retirement home from time to time. And of course, in the background right now, waiting to come, special guest appearance from the one, the only Chess Girl, Miss April, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my God, what is this? Please. you got the tambourine in the wing. Right? Okay. Yes.
I told you. I gave into intrusive thoughts.
Look, we love give into the thoughts, man. It's all right. We love it when you bring that energy here.
I have a comment, but I don't want to be mean.
No, hey, look, we listen. We gonna let you do your thing because we gonna let you talk about the bases.
This is what happens when your team goes 0-6.
She is on the WNBA.
I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
We'll talk a little bit about what just happened this past weekend in the NFL. But guys, let's go ahead and get the ball rolling. Alan, you are here, so guess what we have to do?
It
is time for you to give me 5, Alan. You know what time it is, man. Each and every week, our guy Alan watches NCAA football and brings us 5 things that we should have paid attention to throughout the weekend because it's a lot of college football. But if anybody's keeping their eye on it, it's our guy, AP. Alan, what you got going on for this week?
Well, like it says up there, no one is safe. How many top 10 teams this week did we see either lose or be in jeopardy of losing? Or I know Miami didn't play. I like what they're doing, but here's the thing: no one's safe, and that's the beauty of what this season has brought us: is that not a single team in college football right now is safe. You could blow a team out by 31 week, or you could be like what Ole Miss did last week and only win by 3 to a inferior school in Washington State. Which, you know, hats off to them. They played a great game in that matchup. So, yeah, I don't think any team is really safe. Not even Ohio State or Miami at this point, because late in the season, any team can get got really. So, silence is golden. We need to have a talk about the media. Because after what I saw from March Manning this past weekend, it has made me realize that I cannot trust the media in anything they say or do whatsoever. This kid was hyped up to be, well, really the second coming of Eli or his grandfather, Archie Manning, whichever one you want to pick. He hasn't been that. He hasn't been great, but he really hasn't been, aside from a couple games, he really hasn't been bad either. Like, even in the game against us, he was just okay. He was just okay. But what was the talk about at the end of the game? It was all about Arch Manning. Not the running back who put up 150 yards on us, but Arch Manning. Again, this is why I don't really like to listen to the media and what they say post-season. I know we'll talk about it when we talk about the NFL too, with some of the things that are going on with them. It's just, you can't really trust some of the things that these guys say anymore. And it's sad because as a kid, I used to love watching ESPN all the time. That's how I got my sports knowledge. That's how everything happened. But Arch has been just okay. He hasn't been great. He hasn't been bad. He's just been okay. And kudos to Texas. They were the better team this week. Guys, Indiana's for real. I don't know when was the last time anybody said that, but the Indiana Hoosiers are for real. You went into Eugene, Oregon, and you win by 10 against the team that was slated to maybe potentially win the Big Ten Conference. A team that was the number 1 overall team last year in the college football playoff. Yeah, I think Indiana's figured it out, and then I think there's a good chance they could win the Big Ten this year. Not only win the Big Ten, I could see them making a deep playoff run now. I don't think I've ever said that about Indiana football ever, but kudos to that program. Kudos to what they're doing. South Florida put up 63 points this past Friday night. As much as I would like to say an undefeated UNLV could steal that group of 5 spot in the college football playoff, right now it's South Florida's to lose, in my opinion. Right now, they have the best resume. Right now, they have the best wins out of the group of fives right now. You've already got 2 Power 4 wins for South Florida. I know their one loss was to essentially the second best or best team in the country in Miami, so you really can't fault them for that. They look great. They look great. I think they're the class of the American Conference right now, and I think they could end up being the team that wins that group of 5 spot. Now, notice what put here is OU's fall from grace. It's supposed to be an Oklahoma State Whit. Because while Oklahoma is doing okay in the SEC, they haven't really flashed much. The team that was supposed to replace OU and Texas in the Big 12, the team that everybody had touted to be the team for years to come, Oklahoma State, they have not won a single conference game in 2 years. Their last conference win was Bedlam 3 years ago. That was their last conference win. Yet, it seems like nobody really cares. They're getting blown out this past weekend at home. And what was the viral thing that happened this weekend? A bunch of dudes from the student section going shirtless into one specific section of the stadium and just literally swinging their shirts around. That was the only viral thing that happened for Oklahoma State this weekend. Not the play on the field, not the way they were losing or anything like that, but holy cow. Not to mention that's like anytime, and this is also part of the Big 12's problem too. We've asked them multiple times, hey, do you want to do Bedlam again? We want to do Bedlam again. They've said no like 5 different times now in the past 2 years. Right now, you could probably use Bedlam because right now it looks like your program is going into the toilet. It's not looking good. It's not looking good. This was the team that everybody touted that was supposed to be the team, the class of the Big 12 for years to come. And just 3 years ago, they were 1 yard away from being a college football playoff team. And now they can't even win a conference game. It's amazing how far a team can fall within a couple of years.
Okay, Alan, bro, like hold back a little bit for the people, man.
No, when it comes to Oklahoma State, absolutely not. They're like Texas.
God, dog. Well, excuse me as I read your text incorrectly, but yes, Oklahoma.
No, you're fine. You're fine, man. I understand.
But no, it's all good. And then somehow, some way, as you know, you gave us those 5. We can't forget about some of the bigger things that made headlines. Because I mean, there's a team that is unhappy, even though they are in Happy Valley. I think someone on the roster like Miss Averill would like.
Well, see, I was going to get to them next week, but I was going to save the trouble for it. But
let her get it out now, bro. Let her get it out now. Averill, you in Penn State?
And in fairness to me, Whit, they fired James Franklin after I had already sent you that. So.
Yes, you had already gave me this, and James Franklin got fired. Go ahead, girl.
So, real quick, go back to the Indiana story that AP just talked about. I used to live in Indianapolis. That is a basketball state. When it comes to football, it's about the Colts and no one else. It is not about college football in that state. It is about basketball. They live, breathe, eat, sleep basketball for college. So the fact that Indiana is doing as well as they're doing, and they are one of the top schools, is crazy. That's just mind-blowing to me. And then to be in the same division as Penn State and you lose a whiteout at home at night. We don't lose those at night. and then your quarterback has a season-ending injury. I was already on the fence of, okay, James Franklin has to start proving this season or he needs to be done. Let me make this very clear. I never want to see, especially a black head coach, be fired. I don't care who you are. If you're a black head coach, I don't want to see you fired. That's just within me. I want to see us do well, and we don't get very many opportunities. So when we do get a big opportunity like a Penn State, do the most with it. Now, I have to give him praise where praise is due, because he brought that school back from a very, very bad scandal. And he was there for a very long time, and he had a lot he had to do to build it back up. And I appreciate him for that. But did y'all watch playoffs? Like I watched playoffs last season? We barely won some of them games. Our offense just hasn't been doing it for years. And he hasn't brought someone in to change how our offense runs. So did I want to see him fired in the middle of the season? No. But did I think his time was over? Yeah. Been up. And I think the only reason why he came back this season is because he was owed so much money. And then you get, what, are we even halfway through the season?
No.
I mean, you get a couple weeks into the season and you're losing major games that you should not be losing. We lost to UCLA. UCLA, at that point, I don't think they had won a game yet. We lost to UCLA.
They didn't lead in any game up until that game.
Nico Oli Malayala
Like,
made his name known one more time. He made us pronounce his last name just one more time. Oli, whatever it is, he made us pronounce it just because I won. I promise.
Like, I love watching Penn State play, but about 2 years ago, I got real fed up with our offense, and we're not really doing anything. And I don't know whether it was Drew Aller or the offensive coordinator, whoever was calling the plays. I don't know who was on, but I started noticing big issues with our offense 2 seasons ago. And they showed up this season.
Okay, so this is what I want to do. I'm gonna throw my hat into the ring, and we're not gonna dogpile on James Franklin, but we're just gonna speak truth to power kind of right now. Okay, so right now, James Franklin's record at Penn State was 104-45. All right, overall with a 64-36 record in Big Ten conference play. Okay, but he was 4-21 against top 10 teams and won only one Big Ten championship during his tenure. That, for as long as he's been there, is technically not a good thing. But then I digress. Let's look at some of the first round picks that he has had leave the Penn State program, and let's kind of look at when they left and why kind of the program was slowly digressing. Because, you know, especially after the NIL came in, you could leave or go to another school. So let's not hold that against him either. But a lot of these draft picks that I'm going to name are players that are starting on teams right now. Because of course you got to go Saquon, you got to go Micah, then you got Jahan Dotson and Joey Porter in 22 and 23. Olu Fashanu in 2024, Chop Robinson playing for Miami right now, and Abdul Carter the year after. So like we got edge rusher, DB, offensive tackle, a linebacker, and a running back. That's in that span. That's a large piece of your units. that will leave it. And of course, you wasn't gonna hold Saquon. Of course, you wasn't gonna hold Michael, but Jahan, Joey, and Chop Robinson, those three right there in a 3-year span, that makes a big deal. Abdul Carter, yeah, he was a complete standout. He was a freak. You gotta bless him. And Olu Fashionable, yeah, that's another one you couldn't really hold back. But those three on the offset, your top wide receiver, top DB, another on the opposite end edge rusher. I think it shows that he can produce talent, or that he can bring talent into the NFL. I give him that, but Happy Valley is a conference name that rings bells throughout all Power Fives. You know what I'm saying? Penn State, when you say Penn State, it means something, and it has meant something, and it's really unfortunate that he had to rebuild a program from shambles due to the scandal that he walked in after. Finally, y'all know what it is. We don't even have to get into that one. When they finally concluded all of the scandal, he kind of walked in and had to put the Lego blocks back together. Did it work? Yes. Was it as successful as it should have been, or that we should have been as pundits? Maybe not. One conference championship in 10-year span. I really feel like he could have done more, but the landscape of college football was changing as he was progressing, and I think it really hindered. It really hindered his growth. Could he have done more? Of course, but were there factors in him not being able to accomplish those goals? I can agree with that, and that's just my opinion on it.
I was gonna say, I didn't mention this with Oklahoma State, but one thing that killed their program was NIL, because Mike Gundy just could not figure out the NIL surface, and that you can say that about a lot of these teams in college football, that NIL has completely gutted some of their programs and gutted some of their funding. Penn State might have just fallen victim to that same thing as well, because we're kind of seeing the effects of it. And yes, he only has one win against Ohio State and Michigan, and that's what people are going to point out. Again, the media is going to push their narrative as much as they want to. But that one win was probably one of the biggest wins in Penn State history. I don't know if you remember it, April. It's the whiteout against Ohio State where they won off the block kick.
I do, and I get that, but still, one win, we play them every year.
That's your
win.
That's your crown jewel, as you would say in wrestling.
No,
that's it.
No,
that's what it would be. What else? What else can you lay your hat on besides that Big Ten title win? How long ago was that?
Was that 2020?
However, whenever it was, of course, it wasn't no time recently, and I feel like the changing of the way college football is set up, it is really a what have you done for me lately regime for everyone, and people like Dabo Swinney are extremely privileged because he's laid that bed down and won championships before it changed, and unfortunately, they don't feel like that for James Franklin in Penn State. It's unfortunate, but anyway, guys, we got to keep it moving. What I'm saying, and once again, and before we go, I got to ask you guys, of course. You tell me, what do we think is going to happen with James Franklin? Will he get another job, or will he not get another job within the next season or so? And we'll go one at a time. We'll start from Alan. Hey, Alan.
I think he will eventually. He'll get another job, and there's going to be quite a few openings coming up. Especially in the SEC. I hear Auburn's probably going to be hiring in the offseason, so that might be somewhere he could go. I would not be shocked if he's hired somewhere though, because he's too good of a coach. I know the record doesn't say it, but he's too good of a coach and too good at developing younger players to not get another head coaching opportunity somewhere.
Okay.
You tell me.
April, tell me if you're gonna get another job.
Oh yeah, he'll definitely get another job. I think maybe he'll wait a season. I know there's jobs coming open, but I personally just think he might wait a season. Not saying that he will. That's just kind of after seeing what I saw, especially after him getting fired. I think he might wait a season. But yes, he will definitely return to coaching. Yeah,
I think he'll do good on like the big noon podcast on like Fox or something. He has that type of personality. Bobby G,
yeah.
Even though you kind of keep a distant eye on college football with the name like James Franklin, would you consider him for a university position opening somewhere soon, or would you think he would wait?
Oh man, in this business you can't wait. You got to keep your name in those circles. So I can see him catching on with a secondary university, some mid-tier school, before working his way back up to getting a chance at a big-time school again. So,
hey, and I completely I like that idea. Maybe he catches a coordinator position. Maybe he goes to a smaller conference and then works his way back up after a couple years in grinding it out, and that's okay. He's got paid. He's got paid at least one time because Penn State ain't gave him pennies. Let me tell y'all that one. Anyway, y'all, let's keep it moving. I think this is one that Miss Averill is going to appreciate as we continue to go on. So, topic number 3, y'all. The house always wins. That's right. The Aces are building a dynasty. Or is it a built dynasty? Is it a house of cards? Can it fall, especially after we get into the CBA? There are so many things that we're going to talk about in just a moment. But first of all, let's just lay it down. Miss Averill, I'm going to go ahead and let you tell them what happened the other day. Who won the WNBA championship in the sweep?
I mean the GOAT. Do you not see the GOAT? Yeah, the GOAT did GOAT things, and yeah. So in case you were under a rock or don't know what we're talking about, the WNBA finals wrapped up last Friday, and the Aces swept the Mercury. They won all 4 games, and they actually beat the Mercury in their house. So yeah, that wrapped up WNBA season, and Asia was named Finals MVP. Is that her second? Yeah, that's her second, right?
Finals
second.
MVP.
Yep, second. So, and I'm actually wearing her first shirt because people tend to forget who she is. So just to remind you, had to wear her shirt today. Yeah.
Thank you, Ms. Averill, for putting us on point. Now, the idea about this discussion, guys, is we all talk about multiple sports. Alan wrestling, Bobby basketball. Ms. Averill women's sports, especially in the collegiate athletics as well. The groundworks to laying a dynasty, we've all seen multiple examples of. So I wanted to kind of lay it out there for us and our everybody watching, kind of what makes the Aces dynasty what it is, on top of multiple championships. So of course we got to start at the top, man. We got first, if y'all don't pay attention, these are all queens. Okay, we got the Queen of Hearts, the Queen of Spades, and the Queen of Puppy Toes. We ain't gonna call it the Queen of Clubs. It's the Queen of Puppy Toes. If you're talking about my house, okay. All right, so we got Coach Becky Hammond. Let's lay it down. Let's be real. Becky Hammond was on the coaching staff for the great Coach Popovich of the San Antonio Spurs as an assistant coach. When Coach Popovich almost popped a vein in a NBA game and got tossed, Becky Hammond was named the interim coach for I think maybe two or 3 games, if I'm not mistaken, and did a really good job. And then Becky Hammond, of course, went on to lead the Aces to these last few championships and has laid her mark on the town of Las Vegas. But then, of course, as you have a coach, you can't have a dynasty without winning players and star players at that. And then input Miss Asia Wilson, as Averill has interjected on multiple occasions, coming out of the University of South Carolina, #1 draft pick of an expansion team. Came in with a lot of weight on her shoulders and has acquiesced to every demand. Giving little girls of all races and colors hope that they could, one day be in her position. And she's someone that you have to kind of give praise where praise is due, because not only does she do it on the court, but she does it off the court, being philanthropic with her book, being an author, and also a fashionista as well. I don't know if y'all see her on the walk-ins, but yeah, she be doing it. You know what I'm saying? I can't lie about that. But then also, when you talk about a dynasty, you cannot forget about role players, because they play one of the hugest parts in all of these. And I mean, and of course, if you watched Inside the NBA, our guy Shaquille O'Neal, big shout out to Uncle Shaq. Can't wait to see Uncle Shaq on ESPN. Shaq has called them the others. The others have played a huge part in this dynasty created. Now, although Kelsey Plum is no longer on the Las Vegas Aces, she did get those first couple of rings. She now is on the LA, playing with the LA Sparks. But we do have the point goddess herself, Chelsea Gray. We got Jackie Young and Jewel Lloyd, who joined the team this offseason. And did y'all know that Jewel Lloyd has never lost a finals series coming from Seattle?
Yeah.
Like no games at all. If Jewel Lloyd is involved, she is not lost. And just to not really pivot to something else, I was trying to talk. I had a conversation with somebody who's really big at my job in women's athletics, and I was trying to tell them they brought Jewel Lloyd in there because they thought that the New York Liberty were going to be who they were going to play. They needed somebody to follow Ionescu around all day, and they was going to swap out Jackie Young and Jewel Lloyd on Sabrina Ionescu. But I digress. They didn't even have to worry about that this season. But in the end, these are the foundational pieces that you need to build a dynasty. And guys, as you got a chance to view these last couple of seasons, especially this one, are these the makings of a dynasty in your opinion? I'm gonna let Bobby go first because he's out there. So Bobby, man, tell us what you think as we got a chance to observe your Las Vegas Aces in action.
Yeah, I was gonna say it'd be blasphemy if you let anybody else start this conversation but me. You know what I'm saying? You know what it is. We don't just talk about it, we be about it. And I was kind of hoping.
You tell me.
We gonna fight, man. We gonna fight. If you don't get rid of Zesty Jalen Ramsey, we gonna fight. But guess what? Even Zesty Jalen Ramsey can't ruin my night because we got three of them. Not one, not two, three, and we're going for 4 next year. It's not if it's a dynasty, but it's a dynasty, man. They won 3 out of 4. Did what they were supposed to do. Had a rough year last year. They rebounded. This season was rough. You saw how it started. It wouldn't even end the playoffs midway through the season. Reeled off 16 straight. Quote unquote got hot at the right time and finished off the deal. Like the last 2 series, you literally saw, what people like to call that championship pedigree. It's real, man. Experience is a real thing. And experience helped them survive that 5-game series against Indiana. And experience helped them put their foots down on the Mercury in the finals. Like they could have easily let Game 3 slip away or let Game 4 slip away, but that experience showed through. We have the best player in the league leading the way, and like you said, the role players stepped up big. With Jackie Young with the 20-point quarter, whether it was Jewel Lloyd and her defense and shot making, Chelsea Gray controlling tempo and pace, and Becky Hammond just making the right decisions at the right time. So it was a full team effort, and depending on what happens with the CBA and how it plays out, hell, that might be the only thing that can stop the team, because the decision makers and up top have shown they know how to construct a winning product, and we had the right people in place to continue winning. So, and besides, as a free agent destination, ain't too many other places you'd rather go. You know what I'm saying? The housing market is beautiful. There are plenty of off the court opportunities. We got it here in Vegas.
It's a lot of off the court opportunities if I say myself. Thanks so much, man, Bobby. Alan, man, you've been a part of some dynasties, in baseball. You love talking about the Astros. What about makes you feel like? What makes you?
How dare you even say that? The Astros.
So what makes you feel like, of course, this Aces team is built for to be a dynasty to last?
I mean, yeah, never associate me with the Astros ever again. Yeah, great. A lot of stuff to do in Vegas. Just don't go watch the Raiders play. That you're going to be disappointed. Anyway, yeah, this team is just special. Like Bobby said, 3 of the last 4 years, championship pedigree. This is probably the most impressive year of that run, though, because like he said, they were not even close to being a playoff team midway through the season. You win 16 in a row, get yourselves in the playoffs, and basically run away from it there. Really, the only team that gave you a challenge was a red-hot Indiana team that took you to 5 games. And then, of course, the sweep in the finals. So, color me impressed. This is how dynasties and championships are won. This is how dynasties are made with runs like this. So, it's always the unexpected run that gets you that final championship. So, kudos to the Aces that definitely deserve it. They've been phenomenal throughout the last half decade. So, and again, they've only been in the city for how long, Bobby? 7 years, something like that.
Yep, 2018.
And to see them do this in such a short amount of time, it's crazy.
It wasn't like they went like they had not won anything in San Antonio or Utah. So it wasn't like, they took it from another city. No, it was all built here.
Right. Yeah. Shout out to the homegrown talent of the Vegas Aces. And of course, Ms. April, go ahead and close us out. We already know what you're going to say, but go ahead and give us your 10 cents.
You don't know what I'm going to say. See, don't do that. As it currently stands, is it a dynasty? Yes. But as we all know, in a few days, a little over 2 weeks or around 2 weeks, the CBA expires, and how those negotiations go is going to depend on whether it stays a dynasty. I would like to say that they get it done and everybody is happy. I don't know if that's going to happen. I feel like there is going to be a lockout, just being honest. And I feel like that is going to affect a lot of players. So just today, I saw a really good player from Indiana Fever. She wasn't even supposed to go to Australia. She just picked up a contract to go play in Australia, and then she's playing in the AU League in January or February as soon as she's done in Australia. So, and yes, it's not supposed to affect the WNBA season, but I feel like those negotiations are going to make or break several teams, depending on how they go. So as it stands right now, yes, it is a dynasty. But for those of you that don't know, there are 2 players outside of the players that are assigned to rookie contracts. There are only 2 other players outside of the rookie contracts that are not free agents this season. So that's big for the WNBA. And as it stands, the Aces will have 1 player left on their roster. So as it stands right now, yes, it is a dynasty. But how this CBA plays out and the negotiations, it can make or break several teams.
Now, I wanted to thank you, Ms. April, for giving us that clarification. One of the things that was brought to my attention is the idea of a super team in the WNBA has already been somewhat brought to the attention of multiple owners. So this is where the fear sets in when we enlarge the CBA. When we give them more money, who can we all put on the team? Who is the mid-level? What would the mid-level exception look like? Who qualifies for that? Who is let's say, who's on the veteran minimum, right? That is, of course, the veteran minimum is one of the parts of the CBA that will be discussed. Who is a veteran that we haven't seen in a long time that could do justice on a bench of WNBA team? Can we get some players from overseas that used to be in the WNBA to come back for that type of money? All of these things are what is somewhat been discussed in all types of corners in terms of what's going on with the CBA. Oh, and then of course we can't forget the Unrivaled Basketball League is scheduled to begin January 2026. The start date has not been solidified as of yet because the CBA will be done first, and that will be what they will use in order to begin to create the schedule. As I see here, the expected schedule release date will happen in November, which also happens after the CBA is done. So I feel like the domino effect for women's basketball is really just the CBA, and from there we'll see the rest of it fall into play.
So
that's
the other part of it is we have 2 expansion teams next season. They still have to do the expansion team draft. So
correct.
Last year when the Valkyries were the expansion team, they did their draft in November. They don't even have it scheduled yet, and they have 2 teams they have to draft for this upcoming season. So not only do they have to do an expansion draft, but they also have to have the regular draft.
Yep.
And y'all don't even have an agreement, and no one's even from what I've been hearing, they're not close.
Yeah, nobody feels good when the money is funny. Okay, and that's and that's where we are right now with the WNBA. So as I close, I just kind of want to throw
one more mention
out there. Some of the lows from this season for the Aces included a 53-point loss to the Minnesota Lynx, which included second runner-up to the MVP, Miss Nafisa Collier, who is one of the co-owners for the Unrivaled League on August the 2nd. That was the craziest one ever, I think, in history. The roster challenges, they signed a lot of people. They signed Cheyenne Parker Tyus, and who later announced that she was pregnant. They had to get rid of. They had to do that. They faced a lot of inconsistency early on, but then of course, the cream rose again to the top, just like we talked about with that 16 win streak. And then now we kind of got to think about them in the same league as teams like the Chicago Sky, who have 2, the Detroit Shock, who had 3. We don't really talk about Detroit no more. Aces got 3. We got Phoenix Mercury with 3. The LA Sparks have 3. Now this is where you talk about the dynasty of all dynasties, and when it comes to the WNBA, we got to talk about Sue Bird and the Seattle Storm. All the Sue Bird 2004, 2010. 2018 and 2020, the Houston Comets back in the day when the WNBA was in its original set of players in its original set. We gotta love that for 97, 98, 99, and 2000. But the Minnesota Lynx is one of the more recent dynasties that have had 4 with 2011, 2013, 2015, and 2017. So let's see if we can get to 4, but we don't know what's going to happen until the CBA gets negotiated. So I can't wait for that. So once again, big shouts out to the house, as they call it in Las Vegas. The Aces win and complete the 2025 season with another championship. I can't wait to see how these rosters are going to look. This next year, especially once the CBA happens. Everybody's gone. Everybody's moving. Who's going to go where, we won't know. But shoot. If that's when the best stuff happens, right? From any other sport, Bobby, basketball, NBA, we like, everybody's free. Can't wait to see it happens.
Yeah, the real
My
life
nerves
fantasy
already
draft.
bad. I can't take much more.
But you forgot the highest high, man.
What's
the highest high? Asia Wilson became the first player in the history of sports, and this will probably never be done again. First player in the history of sports to make a game-winning basket over a whole married couple.
Married couple. Yes.
We causing domestic problems out here.
Hey man, that's real. That's real. You're right. and big shots out to Bam Adebayo out there. I gotta say that. You know, sometimes men in a relationship don't get no credit. And somebody else had the nerve on Twitter to talk about, oh well, you know, she can't beat Bam, her boyfriend. I guarantee you, in a game to 11, Asia done cooked Bam at least a couple times, and he had to take that to bed.
No, besides, if you can't win a championship, marry a champion. You know what I'm saying?
Y'all remember Sheldon Williams? Y'all remember Sheldon Williams from Duke, right? Sheldon Williams married Candace Parker. This is not the first time we've seen love and basketball in the WNBA, okay? And do you remember what Sheldon Williams did in the NBA? Probably not, but you know who Candace Parker is. Okay?
Yeah. We're gonna leave that
Sheldon
alone.
Williams and Bam Adebayo aren't on the same level, but let's keep it real. It's happened before.
I'm just now being told that Divorce Slayer is on speed dial.
Shout out to Bam Adebayo, man, for holding it down. Anyway, hey guys, we made it to the first hour. We did it. Shout out to Jim Bang for coming in early and getting us started with the warm up, as we got a chance to talk about the start of the NHL season for 2025-26. Some names to recognize, some names to keep an eye out for, and then of course we got into it with Allen's top 5. You know, got to give me that 5 from the NCAA week, and then of course Miss Averill had to go ahead and talk about her aces, so we got to show love to Las Vegas.
Parade is Friday.
Oh, parade is Friday. You going? You out? You out there?
I haven't thought about it yet. It depends on what time it is.
It's crazy. I can't imagine. That's first of all,
Hey,
Vegas
Bobby, please go. And if Beyonce is there, oh my God.
Beyonce and Usher, right? Beyonce and Usher got to be there.
But I want to fly to Vegas just to see if Beyonce shows up because, girl, hey, Beyonce, I miss you. Yeah. I just want to go to Vegas to see if she shows up. Like, hey, girl.
Well, y'all know what time it is, man. We got to get into the hard part. We going into the second hour, of course. It's happening, ladies and gentlemen. The NFL season is continuing. Somehow, some way, we have gotten to the point where we are pretty sure
Whit,
what's going on with these teams.
Hey, Whit.
Yes, yes.
Can I share some breaking news real quick before we get into the depressing stuff?
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, of course.
Even though it's not my team and I'm not happy that he signed with them, Yamamoto just went and pitched an entire game, all 9 innings. First pitcher to do that since 2017, Verlander. He just pitched an entire game for the Dodgers.
Wow.
And once again, the Brewers can't win when it matters most.
Man, I told y'all like 20 months ago, the Dodgers is gonna win the World Series. The baseball season was literally for no reason. It don't matter. This is like the Warriors when they signed KD. Ain't no point in watching. Don't watch. You might as well stop watching baseball for like that's 3 seasons.
Oh man, and once again, you guys, hey, look, we normally do a couple things, but man, we getting to the point where if you got a team for the NFL, make sure you shout them out in the comments. Let us know who your team is. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter or Twitter/X at Rec Room Sports. Follow us on Instagram at _Rec Room Sports, on TikTok at Rec Room Sports Hub, and then YouTube, the Rec Room Sports Hub. And then, of course, we got to give a shout out to all of our truck drivers. Got to give a shout out to all of our nurses, teachers, faculty, and staff. Even our, our public servants. You know what I'm saying? Police officers have been getting a hard brunt lately because of actions. We won't necessarily get into, but we got to represent for them as well. So big shouts out to my police officers out there protecting and serving and putting people over and giving them, extra time, not taking them to jail. I'll tell you about that later, y'all. Anyway, getting into what just happened this past weekend in the NFL, I feel like there was a lot of disparity. Bobby, you got a team. You know, your Browns got Uncle Joe Flacco out there on the streets. You know, and for a while, Joe Flacco was looking all right, man. How you feeling right now as Cleveland goes through its ups and downs?
The Browns is the Browns. I can't even say nothing else.
The Browns
is the Browns. We got some people we can get excited about. We're excited about our rookie class this year. They're playing well. But yeah, Browns are Browns. We just got to find our quarterback. We can find the quarterback. We have the talent to be a competitive football team. But until then, the Browns is the Browns.
Yeah. And for sure, the Browns are the Browns, and we know Joe Flacco went ahead on to, I don't want to even say greener pastures, but to Cincinnati. You moved to the other side of Ohio. Is it how many? It's like what, 4.5 hours away?
About 6.
6 hours.
Okay.
Big shouts out to our guy Jay, who is actually on and off the road. He's off the road right now. Jay has been traveling across the country, making our favorite adult clubs mirrors, making sure that they're aligned correctly so that we can get the best angles in the vicinity, making sure all of our poles are properly aligned. Big shouts out to Jay. We appreciate you, bro. And as we move forward into the season, something else has happened, because we're going to get into, of course, the games, but I just want to get into one of the larger part. So at Penn State, coach got fired. What about in Tennessee? Tennessee fired a coach as well?
She gone. So Callahan up out of there.
So of course, when it involves Tennessee, you guys, I have no one else but one of our good friends, Mr. First Down, to refer to. So I'm going to go ahead and put this up on the screen. It's the first of many, man. The Titans fired Coach Brian Callahan after just 2 seasons, and Mr. First Down weighed in. Wow. Okay, so of course, Coach Brian Callahan's tenure at Tennessee was rocky. He posted a 4-19 record, leading to his dismissal after a 1-5 start to the 2025 season. I said, Mr. First Down, Sam Dean, do me a huge favor, bro. Thank you. I know you can't make it on the show. You got a lot going on. You got babies, you got twins. Shout out to him and twins. But I said, Sam, tell me your opinion on the firing of your coach, Brian Callahan, because y'all know he's in the pamphlet, right? Them season tickets don't get bought unless Sam is inside of the Tennessee Titans pamphlet. So Sam told me he single-handedly made terrible coaching errors. Last year, I gave him a mulligan thinking that, well, it's his first year. He also said, and I quote, "We were regressing and Cam was not growing," end quote. I asked him again, well, what else do you think would factor in to him being fired? And he simply told me, imagine if this was Philly or Green Bay. Damn. And after that, I couldn't answer no more questions. I felt like that made a ton of sense. If this was anywhere else, especially places where winning is the paramount, going 4-19, you might have been going after the first season. Shoot, I think they gave him a little more leash, especially due to his coaching acumen. Shout out to, of course, his father, who was a famous NFL head coach.
Yeah.
As we get to, we will get to other games and other meaningful play this past weekend, as we hear about the Titans firing of their head coach. Alan and Bobby, what is your opinion on that?
I'm super happy. I'm super happy because we had a good thing going in Cleveland, and it was ruined when he got that job because we lost our offensive line coach, who happened to be his father, Bill Callahan. So now that he's been fired and his father has left the organization, maybe we can get our offensive line coach back, and our offensive line can get back to doing the things that they were doing when we were making playoffs. So I'm ecstatic. It's the fancy Barry. Somebody pick up the phone, make that call, make that happen. We have been, our offensive line has been god awful since he's left. So yeah, we need to get back on that.
This is another case of trust your local media rather than what the mass media is telling you on the national scenes. Because a lot of the national broadcasts were wondering why the hell Brian Callahan got fired. And I'm like, hello, have you been watching Tennessee the last 2 years? They stink. They stink. And then when your coach basically throws your entire team under the bus before the season even starts, that's not a good look. It's not a good look. I mean, I don't wish for people to get fired either. Especially early on. But if anything was going to change in Tennessee, Brian Callahan needed to go because nothing was working for the Titans at all this year. It seems like they got worse in the offseason rather than getting better. Even because look at what they did in the offseason. You brought in all these offensive linemen, you brought in a lot of defensive guys, and you brought in a lot of targets to help your rookie quarterback. None of it has worked out. None of it. And it starts with coaching. And I know the GM's on the hot seat too there, but a lot of that starts with Brian Callahan, and he has not lived up to the bargain that honestly he shouldn't have gotten that job in the first place. Like, I kind of agree with Bobby. I'm kind of glad he's gone, but it's not. It's just a terrible situation for Titans fans. I mean, you feel for them. They're getting a new stadium soon, and I just did a show with Sam tonight, and we were ranting about that before we went live. So, at the very least, they'll have at least a decent voice in the room now. Somebody that can kind of maybe help them right the ship. But I don't know. It's going to be an interesting year, an interesting offseason in Tennessee. That's for sure.
Yeah, man, I definitely can agree with you. This is one of those ones where I kind of want to sit back and watch because, of course, here on the Rec Room, we don't condone the unnecessary firing of head coaches, but in order to protect a first round number 1 overall young man who proved himself to be the number 1 overall pick, so to speak, we want to give Cam the right set of circumstances. To me, and this is just solely based on opinion, we have seen in the past few years one organization especially take 2 highly touted number 1 or 2 or 3 draft picks and say, hey, we're going to draft this guy, and them not be in the best situation. That organization is the Chicago Bears. We have seen them. We saw them take Justin Fields, and we don't think that Justin Fields was in the correct situation at first. He has now landed in the lap of Miss Avril's New York Jets, and we have to think that somewhere in the transition of his career, as he was being groomed to be the starting quarterback, was there a error in translation so that he could be successful, right? I would like to think that, and this is just purely based on watching it and seeing the young man talk. I would like to think that Cam Ward is of the ilk where if he was put in the right situation, he would be successful. Coming from where he's come from, getting to Miami, doing well there, coming into the league and hearing the maturity. You could be mature and not good, but he is mature and good. I hear him talking, I go, man, that's the guy you want to have as your leader 5 years from now. I heard I was really high on Vince Young back in the day. Y'all remember Vince Young? Played for the Tennessee Titans, came out of Texas. Vince Young wasn't this mature. Vince Young came from Texas, baby. Vince Young, Heisman finalist, was not sounding like Cam Ward. And there was a difference in play. There's a difference in play style. There's a difference in head coach. Shout out to Brian. But to me, I would like for him to be put in the right place so that all the chips aren't laid on him as if to say, hey, you fix it. And I'm not saying that Coach Brian Callahan is not that person or was not that person, but it just wasn't working fast enough.
I'll say it for you. He wasn't.
Yeah, thank you.
He's not that guy, but
he wasn't.
Like he owes 10% of his salary to Joe Burrow. He got a head coaching job because he was offensive coordinator for Joe Burrow.
There you go. There it goes. And of course, that's how coaching works. Where did you come from? What did you do? Let's make you a head coach. And right now, you know, the coach of the Chicago Bears is doing well based upon how well he did with his tenure as an offensive coordinator for the Detroit Lions.
You want to hear an insane stat, Whit?
What's that?
The last 4 number 1 overall quarterbacks that were drafted lost their head coach either mid-season or following their rookie year.
It's a trend, bro. It's hard to do. It's hard to have a number 1 overall pick and mesh him with a suitable name that will bring out the best in him. Let's put it like that. It took Trevor a little while. I think Liam Cohen right now is doing well with Trevor Lawrence. You know, Baker Mayfield was in a totally different circumstance coming from Cleveland. You know, and now look at him in Tampa Bay, possibly the MVP. We'll get into that later. There's a lot of different things that we can do. I see Miss Ava wants to jump in. Miss Ava, you got, of course, I know you have some opinion on what's been going on in Tennessee as well, isn't that right?
So I don't really care about Callahan per se. The stat that Alan just brought up, that's what I was going to bring up. That's what scares me, because if you don't know, guess who's going to have the number 1 draft pick? And I like my coach. I don't want to lose my coach. And as it stands, that has happened every year. And I don't want to lose my coach. I don't want to lose my coach. I like my coach. But I'm probably going to lose my coach next year.
Ariel, you want me to be honest?
That's
I don't
the only reason why I care about it, because it falls in line, and I mean it keeps happening. So that's the only reason why I care about it. Otherwise,
you want me to be honest? And I heard this today, and I kind of agree with it. I think the best thing for the Jets this year is if they go 0-17. Because maybe then Woody Johnson will finally wake the hell up.
Okay, wait a minute.
And do something for this organization.
So I don't know if you saw my page, but I posted that earlier. Today. I 100%, I 1000% agree with that.
First of all,
we need to lose every game, be the worst team on the planet, and maybe Woody will wake up, pull his head out his goddamn ass, and do something with the Jets. Sell the team.
It's on the way.
Like, at this point, I'm starting to think maybe something's wrong with me, because I keep waking up and watching this team and putting my all into cheering for this team, and it's like, the fuck? Like, how you go negative yards? Negative?
It's deep. I know it's deep for you, Ms. Avery. We're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that one. Before we move forward, I just wanted to throw out there. Of course, when we were talking about Chicago, we were talking about Caleb Williams, who now has been partnered with head coach Ben Johnson, who is the offensive coordinator for the Detroit Lions, made Jared Goff look good. So some of these names may be familiar to you guys, but I've been listening for a few days, and then I did a little bit of research to figure out who's where. Some of the names that was brought up for the head coaching positions that are currently currently coaching for other teams were coaches like Cliff Kingsbury. Right now, he was his best known role, of course, is UFC offensive analyst known for quarterback development and offensive creativity. Brian Flores, the Vikings defensive coordinator, but I think you may want to lean more towards a offensive mind to be paired with Cam Ward. Then of course Aaron Glenn, but that's another defensive guy. Arthur Smith, Steelers offensive coordinator.
Wait, rewind. Did you just say Aaron Glenn?
Aaron Glenn. What? Aaron Glenn? I read the wrong line. I'm reading the wrong line. Excuse me. Aaron Glenn, your coach right now for the Jets, because if anything happens and they get rid of him, he might be available. Gerard Mayo, who was the coach for the Patriots, he's also available out there in the wind. And once again, there are offensive coordinators who will be available once we have more of a conclusion to what's going on this NFL season. But as of right now, it's up in the air because
I was gonna say they could have Matt Eberflus. I don't want him no more.
You want him anymore? Oh, okay. I got you. Just get rid of Eberflus. Well, and Frank Smith. Hey, that's another name I found out. I didn't know who that was. Helped develop Tua Tagovailoa. Whoop-de-doo. But y'all see what's going on in Miami. None too special now, right? I don't know if you want to get that guy, but especially after Tua pretty much out of everybody. Other things that happened this past week that were exciting in the world of the NFL. The Panthers shocked the Cowboys. Carolina pulled off a buzzer beater with that field goal. Oh my God, stunned Dallas in one of the biggest upsets / surprises. The Packers and Joe Flacco's big Bengals debut. Of course, we gave Joe Flacco, Uncle Joe, a little bit of more credit because he had already beaten the Green Bay Packers. I was actually impressed by the way I thought that they were going to attack the Green Bay Packers, but the Green Bay Packers did what Green Bay Packers do. The Colts. Hey, look, what are we gonna say right now that's negative about them, right? I mean, somehow, some way, Daniel Jones is doing things that we never thought he was going to do in a Giants uniform. We cannot forget about that. And then Baker Mayfield is continuing his MVP caliber campaign. I don't know if you know, ladies and gentlemen, but the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have been making statement wins over and over again. And last weekend over the 49ers, I think he put another stamp, another feather in the cap, so to speak. And then what
pisses me off about that, Whit? He's not even the favorite for MVP right now.
He's not the favorite for MVP. No, he's not. Which is the funny part. We're gonna get to that as well. Let's keep an eye out for some of the rising stars. Shout out to Ja'Cory Crosky-Merritt, who is doing his thing. Shout out to Jay's Commanders. Ja'Cory Crosky-Merritt had a really, really turbulent time in the NCAA ranks as he went to two different schools and only got to play, I think, a total of like 7 games, if I'm not mistaken. But he just now broke out for 111 yards and 2 touchdowns. And then, of course, Jaden Daniels comes back. He returns strong. The Commanders, the Commanders ended up having 3 touchdowns in his return. But it's still the Bears, kind of they try to win and they go, but hey, shout out to Jaden Daniels coming back from that knee. I think it was like a knee contusion. And then, of course, we don't really want to talk about it. I know Avery doesn't want to talk about it, but the Jets and Broncos in London, another game across the pond that somehow, some way, it ceases to amaze us, like the way that it plays out. The Jets finally got over, got their first takeaway. Hey, right, Angel? Right? No? Okay, never mind. But
Yay!
The Broncos, found a way to pull that one out. Gentlemen, we just now pretty much are getting closer and closer to midway through the season. And ladies and gentlemen, of course, where do we see Baker Mayfield as an MVP candidate right now? Are we thinking that's because Alan, you said it, bro. It's not looking like he's number 1 on the list for him to be the leading vote, but he should be MVP candidate. If you think so, tell me why.
He should be. Like, Have you seen what he's had to deal with this year? Half his offensive line is gone. His entire wide receiver core is hurt. He just lost Bucky Irving for a couple weeks. Their defense is okay, but not great. And the fact that he's come back and led that team to a 5-1 record with all those injuries, how is he not MVP right now? How is he not the front runner for MVP right now? Like, I don't see any other quarterback in the league playing as well as Baker Mayfield is right now. Not anyone.
Nope.
Like, it shouldn't even be a discussion at this point. Baker Mayfield should be the commanding front runner for MVP right now. But he's not. I don't even think he's top 5, which baffles me. Like, what are these writers even watching? Are they even watching the games? Like, how is Patrick Mahomes leading the MVP race right now? Over Baker Mayfield, over.
Are you serious?
Hell, yeah, he's the favorite. He's the favorite right now, as of right now. Over Baker, I would put 5 guys over Patrick Mahomes right now, including a running back. I would put Bijan over Patrick Mahomes.
5 guys
Bijan's been
the
incredible.
or
Bijan's been incredible this year.
5 guys the restaurant or 5 other quarterbacks and players?
Yes. I think it would be 4 quarterbacks and a running back because I would put Bijan in that conversation too.
4 quarterbacks and a running back. And as you named it, the funny thing is, bro, let's just go over it real quick. And I'm going to tell you guys who currently is in the tops of the top for MVP. Of course, Baker Mayfield is up there, but then of course we got Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, we got Bijan Robinson emerging as a rare non-QB candidate. You know how that goes. Normally goes to a quarterback. Somehow, some way, a name that I think is being slept on along with Baker Mayfield is the surprise breakout season, leading one of the most explosive offenses with the wide receiver with the most reception yards at this moment with Jackson Smith and Jigba. Sam Darnold in the Seattle Seahawks out there is somewhere in floating in the breeze as a name we should keep an eye on for MVP candidates thus
I'm
far.
gonna say if we had any semblance of a defense, you'd be having Dak Prescott's name in there as well.
And Dak is a close 6 if you want to just do 5. But this is what I was going to just say as far as Baker Mayfield is concerned. So that's 1539, 12 touchdowns, and just 1 interception through 6 games, 73.9% completion percentage, 139.7 passer rating, 5-1 record right now, the best 6-game start in franchise history. The best thing that I can say is somehow, some way, pulling off, I think, 3 1-score victories in the 4th quarter in his first 6 games. That's ridiculous. And then, of course, Bobby's out there. Vegas loves him. His MVP odds went from plus 3,000 to plus 350. Now only trailing Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen. So, I mean, this is the tale of Baker's redemption tour. If you ask, we thought he was good. We thought he was good last season, but Baker Mayfield this season is proven to be even better, and he's playing with less pieces because as of right now, can you name any of the Tampa Bay wide receivers? Because they're all hurt. Except Ibuka just got hurt last week, so he's playing with house money right now and still burning up the field. So big shouts out to Baker Mayfield right now, an early choice for MVP through pretty much 6 weeks of good NFL football. And of course, Ms. Avery, we know we were talking about your Jets and going 0-17. I think there's a win somewhere in there. I wanted to talk to you about this.
You gonna skip my MVP speech?
Oh no, you go ahead. What you got? Go ahead.
Give you Mr. Stephen A. Smith's opinion.
Go ahead.
See, here's the problem. Alan, you're wrong, and here's why. Let me tell you why Patrick Mahomes is leading the NFL, or according to Vegas, is in first place. Whit, you just made a great point. Baker Mayfield's playing with all his receivers are hurt, but he's got them. He's got it. When healthy, he has the more talented roster. They got a running game. They got all kinds of receivers. Amika is better than anybody thought he would be. However, it's not about what they've done. Now it's about what they have left to do and who they do it against. Yeah, absolutely. Everything you said is absolutely right, Alan. But who does Baker do it against? He's in the worst division in football. He literally has a cakewalk to a division title. He plays one more quarterback worth talking about left. That's two. I think they play the Lions this weekend, and then they got the game against Buffalo. That's it. Patrick Mahomes still has left to play. Bro Nix, Herbert, that same Josh Allen. This is a matter of fact. Here it is, right? Let me go.
Dak Prescott, Thanksgiving.
Yeah. CJ Stroud, Herbert, Bro Nix, the number 1 overall pick, Cam Ward, Jaden Daniels. Like, he just beat Goff. So, like, he plays the same two quarterbacks that Baker has to play, plus some. Also, statistically, they're playing the same. Like, Baker Mayfield has a better quarterback rating, but Patrick Mahomes actually has a better QBR. So, like, they're literally playing the exact same. Their completion percentage separated by 2 points. Yardage separated by like 30 yards. Patrick Mahomes has one more interception. Touchdowns, Baker has one more touchdown. He has 12-1. Patrick Mahomes is 11-2. And again, the rest of his schedule is set up to where he actually plays MVP level competition, while Baker Mayfield gets a cakewalk for the rest of the season. So he should have a stellar rest of the season. Whereas Patrick Mahomes is the unknown because he actually faces some challenges. And while the Kansas City Chiefs haven't been playing, they haven't got off to the start that we're used to. That actually gives them that MVP boost, because if they come out of this terrible start and get back to playing like the Chiefs we know about, it's going to look that more impressive.
He has 3 more. He has Detroit this week. That doesn't matter. Then he has to buy New England. Then he plays Buffalo, and he has the Rams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he has 3.
Yeah.
Buffalo is showing us that they can be beaten. They've had these very close games and just not recently being beat by Atlanta, and Atlanta's not to be slept on.
I was going to say, why does nobody talk about that lately? Like, I haven't heard any talk about Atlanta beating Buffalo today at all. Why does nobody talk about that?
Oh, I just laughed. I just hysterically laughed the entire time. Like, it was the most hilarious thing to me.
Yeah, because it's a one-off.
Yeah,
that can't be impressive when you get beat 30-0 by the Panthers.
Yeah, a lot of people think the Panthers. The Panthers are on a bit of a streak right now, so let's not sleep on them. But to say that Atlanta beat Buffalo and they fell asleep at the wheel, that they'll make excuses for a Buffalo team with Josh Allen, who in some way, shape, or form almost. I really feel like their defense let that whole game slide. But he looked lost. He looked lost after the second touchdown. The look on his face, he just looked lost. I'm sorry, he did.
But
you can continue.
And Alan, I actually agree with you though. Baker should be the front runner for MVP right now.
Baker should be,
but I see why Patrick Mahomes is in first. Is the betting favorite.
Baker Mayfield should be right there, and I would, and in real life, in my opinion, based on what I've been seeing using the eye test, just the eye test, I would even put Sam Darnold closer to Patrick Mahomes than Josh Allen. Sam Darnold been balling. Sam Darnold was balling in the Vikings uniform before he got hurt. Sam Darnold is going after the scorched earth right now. I think really similar to Baker Mayfield as kind of the journeyman passing quarterback, and it's all coming together for him right now. And him and Jackson Smith and Jigba are doing a world of hurt to the offense. I mean the defenses right now, and that's just being real. And then as I continue, you know what, Miss Avery, I wanted to talk, even though I don't got a whole segment for you, a layout. I just want to talk to you because you're a good friend of mine. Okay, let's look at these things. We got a couple games coming up for the New York Jets, and I wanted to talk to you about them. So you got the Panthers, Bengals, Patriots, Dolphins, and then you got the Jags, Colts, Falcons, Patriots, Steelers, Browns. Now, somewhere in here, this Sunday, there's a 47.1 win probability against the Panthers at home in MetLife Stadium. I wanted to know, is there a way that you think Justin Fields and the guys in the green, the gang green, can pull it off and get a win at home in the Meadowlands? Yeah, if you got to think about it that hard, baby, I'm sorry. Hey.
I want to have faith. I want to have faith.
I can throw you a lifeline.
And the Panthers, they're only undefeated at home.
Mhm.
They're not playing at home.
Nope,
They're playing at our home.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
And probably shouldn't say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. At least we don't have to worry about Garrett yelling on the sideline, throw me the ball, because he's out for a couple weeks.
Exactly.
So, I mean, if hell freezes over, I guess.
And listen, and look, there are other games that have really high win probabilities for the Jets, right? Another one is Week 9 versus the Patriots. The New England is rebuilding, and the Jets could capitalize at home once again at home. And then Week 13 and Week 15, both teams are beatable if the Jets clean up their penalties and get consistent quarterback play. So I think one of these 4 games left in the 18 weeks in full, you can eke out some wins, Ms. Avery. So I don't want you to think we be picking on you. And we talking about going on in 17. You can get some win, okay?
Personally, we're gonna go back. We're gonna go back to what we said earlier. I want them to lose every game. I want Woody to feel horrible because you have an issue with the turf. You don't address the turf. You see it's causing nothing but injuries. You don't address that. Then it comes out where you're sticking your nose into the day-to-day of the team and how it's run and with drafting players, and he's doing too much. Sit the fuck down. Let the people that you hired do their jobs. If they don't, then fire them. But until Woody has taught a lesson, no. I have ideas of what I want to happen, but do I think it's going to happen? No. But I have an idea of what I want to happen in a perfect world.
I will say if it's Chuba Hubbard this weekend, you might have a chance. If it's Rico Dowdle, you have no chance. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Rico's on the
Oh, no. It has nothing to do with this season. This season is over and done with. They should just start looking towards next season at this point, just being honest. So when Mike McDaniel eventually gets fired, because he's going to get fired from the Dolphins, I would like to see him come on as our offensive coordinator and work with Justin Fields because he's really good at RPOs and play action offenses. And he's the only one that is really good at running that type of offense that is going to be available. So I would like him to come in as our offensive coordinator, work with Justin, and then we rebuild next year. But this year, no, they just need to lose.
You don't want McDaniel.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't want him. I don't want him as a head coach. I don't want him as a head coach. Do I want him on offense because he's a good offensive coach? Yes. But do I want him? I don't want him as a head coach. I want Aaron Glenn, but our offensive coordinator, it's his first year, and he's not that good. Like he's not even top of who was available. He was like mid to lower of who was available. So, and we're gonna have the number 1 draft pick. They're gonna draft a quarterback. So bring in somebody that's better. Mike McDaniel's gonna be free. Why not?
Yeah, but it's if you know.
Oh, go ahead, Bob. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and say this as PC as possible. If you know Mike McDaniel's story, it's a great redemption story.
Yeah,
I think he has regressed.
You think he back on the juice?
Look at his last press conference. Look at his face. Look at his eyes.
Oh no!
And again, I'm trying to be as PC as possible, and I'm hoping it's not true. Because his redemption story is amazing and it's great.
Let's just say there's a reason why Tua said what he said at the post press conference.
Oh,
This has been a rough year, and it don't take much. And I'm sure we all know somebody who's been affected by that. All I'm saying, just go to YouTube.
And maybe he needs a step. And maybe he needs a step back. Maybe that's what he needs is a step back from head coaching and just go back to offense because that's what he was good at. I'm just saying.
I agree with that to an extent. I think he should go back to being a coordinator, but I think the New York market is just not a good idea. Like I get that, but the New York market is going to have high expectations. There's going to be a lot of stress dealing with it. We're already seeing it with most coaches that go there that they almost instantly regret going to New York because of the New York media and the New York crowd. With what he's going through, I would not go to New York because that would just add on to what he's already dealing with.
Yeah, it's tough.
And that's just for his mental health sake. Like, that's not even trying to bash the New York teams at all. That's just for his mental health sake.
Yeah, Mike McDaniel is, just like you said, has been a redemption story, one in which I commend, people going for. This is gonna be a different one. There's a possibility, Miss April, that that's the top pick could be defensive. And depending on who really,
I would love for us not to pick a quarterback at number 1. I would love for us not to pick a quarterback, but the Jets are going to do Jets things. Woody is going to meddle, and we're going to pick a quarterback. They're not going to develop them, and we're going to waste another 5 to 10 years.
It's a Jet 2 holiday, yeah. But anyway, man. Of course, we spent a lot of time on this past weekend in the NFL, but I think it's time to get to the 5th topic because there's a game that I want to talk about that we have not covered yet, and I think it's important. So let's go ahead and get to it, y'all. And if y'all know what time it is, we got to hit the button, y'all.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Fifth topic.
That's right, y'all. The 5th topic is brought to you by Jay, who is out on the road. Thanks so much, Jay, for bringing this to my attention. But Detroit, what? The Chiefs and Lions game ends in a brawl on Sunday Night Football, ladies and gentlemen. I think we were talking about Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs and what's going on with their organization this year, and it's not started off right. But every once in a while, there's a catalyst to good teams. The Detroit Pistons needed the Boston Celtics. The Los Angeles Lakers of the 80s needed the Boston Celtics. Every once in a while, just one of those good scrambles would kind of kickstart other teams into their championship runs or to get their swagger back, so to speak. And it's a possibility that we could be looking at the Kansas City Chiefs in the same way. And this past weekend, I think, was one of those moments where I think the momentum happened. Okay, the Kansas City Chiefs handed Detroit a 30-17 point loss, snapping the Lions' 4-game win streak. The Chiefs didn't punt once. That's a big deal, and it committed 0 penalties. A near flawless performance. Now that goes to show you a lot. As recently in recent weeks, the one of the main reasons for Kansas City having such an off season was the penalties that they were accumulating, which also happened in Jacksonville at the game that I was attending. But do you guys think that, after a win and a brawl, the camaraderie, the togetherness that was shown on the field could bring a team like the Kansas City Chiefs together so they could kind of get back into their winning ways, What do you think, Alan?
I mean, Kansas City's Kansas City at this point, right? You're getting Rashee Rice back next week. You're back at full strength. Everything looks fine and fixed now. I mean, there were a couple questionable calls in that game. I'm not gonna lie, but yeah, it will go down. It will go down as they had a flawless game, which, even with all that, Kansas City was still the better team. Even Detroit didn't have half their secondary, and some injuries on their left tackle and whatnot. But Kansas City was the better team. You still got some tough competition coming up. We'll see how it happens. We'll see how it happens because and again, this is why many Chiefs fans were like, yeah, we're not worried about 1-3 start. We're not worried about 2-3, 1-3 start because once we get healthy, we're going to be Kansas City again, regardless of what people think, regardless of what people want. This is what the NFL wants. This is what every Chiefs fan and every fan in the NFL wants to see. They want to see the best team look like the best team, and that's what the Kansas City Chiefs are going to be here in the coming weeks. So, as much as we don't want to talk about it, it's what it is. Kansas City's back. They're the team to beat right now, it looks like. So, yeah, just make sure don't get any more of those SEC refs to call Sunday Night Football again, please, for the love of God.
Hey, Ms. April, as you have gotten the chance to observe the Kansas City Chiefs at a low point and seeing them raise up again against the Detroit Lions, do you think a fight could kind of reignite the fire in the already winning franchise?
I don't want to talk about Chiefs. I'm being honest. I don't want to talk about Chiefs.
Oh,
You want me to be honest about that? Juju had it coming.
You tell me. You tell me.
Juju's one of those guys that kind of runs his mouth a little bit too much. So,
because the way I feel about the Chiefs,
go ahead.
The way I feel about the Chiefs and what other people feel about Chiefs are two totally different things. And sometimes I feel like might just need to smack a couple Chiefs players because they get on my nerves. So yeah, no, I'm not the right person to discuss this.
Bobby G, you've seen a scrap or two ignite a team into winning and going on a tangent. Do you think this is possible for the Kansas City Chiefs?
No, they don't need it. Their best players have championship rings. They don't need any other motivation. However, it should motivate fans of the NFL. I can't count how many people I've seen. Oh my God, this shouldn't be happening. There should be sportsmanship. What happened to a couple months ago? Y'all talking about we tired of seeing people doing jersey swaps, being friends with everybody. Now you got cats fighting after the game. You don't want to see it. Make up your damn minds, America. What you want? What you want? You want friends or you want rivals? Well, that's what rivals look like. So sometimes we throw fisticuffs after the game. So make your damn minds up. Pick a side and stay there. Stop flip-flopping.
So to Bobby's point, I'm a big baseball person. Best thing I love about baseball is a benches clearing fight. You hit a pitcher or the pitcher hits a batter or something happens and the bench is clear. That is like my favorite part of baseball. I love it. And I feel like whenever something like that happens, it gives the team motivation. I would love for the Jets to get some kind of motivation like that. Like, can we fight? And y'all get some motivation? I mean, I'm just saying, I'll come and hit some of y'all. I mean, will that help? Like, I'm just saying.
Am I condoning what Brian Branch did? No, because you shouldn't have done it in that situation. You shouldn't have, the game was over. Just go to the locker room, what have you. But I'm not saying that Juju didn't have it coming.
And then on that note, I'm going to go ahead and kick these out. So Patrick Mahomes against the Detroit Lions had 22 out of 30 completions out of 30 attempts, 257 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, 34 rushing yards with one rushing touchdown, no interceptions, no fumbles, and surpassed 300 career touchdown passes in the regular season and playoffs, faster than any other player in NFL history. Back in the day, y'all, it's funny to say that now because we've been doing this Rec Room sports show for a long time, but back in the day, my guy Jay, shout out to Jay. I don't know if y'all know JDMIC, that's right. I think he's taking a break from being on the road and making sure our our favorite adult establishments lighting is done correctly. Jay used to have a segment. Right? He would show us something. He would go, "What's up with that?" You know, and kind of give us a image of whatever, and then we would have to draw our own conclusions as it was something that we would have to kind of figure out what's up with it, the picture, right? I'm gonna do that just for a little bit today, real quick. So, Exhibit A, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see here from Exhibit A. Our guy, Juju Smith-Schuster, is being accosted by a Detroit Lion player. His face mask is being mushed, adjacent to his neck angle. As you can see, his neck is 180 degrees aligned with his shoulder pads. That means he is off-center. If you know anything about wrestling or body dysmorphia or trying to get into what to do, once your neck is not aligned correctly, like in a straight line, you can get anybody to do anything. That is what happened here with our good friend Juju Smith-Schuster, which ensued in the fight, which later took place. But then, that wasn't it, y'all. That wasn't it. Something else happened. We got another picture that we want to go see what's up with that, and I'm going to get to it. Hold on just a moment. I got to stop one so I can do the second one. The second picture that I want y'all to see it's a little more graphic. You know, if you're got any children up late at night, please do me a favor and tell the children to turn away. All right. Here's the second picture, man. Coach Andy Reid is trying to, boy, it's over. He got you. Save it for later. You know what I'm saying? And Juju is insisting upon going across several other players to get his quote unquote lick back. Okay. I, as a Steelers fan, I feel a certain type of way for Juju Smith-Schuster. I feel for him, but man, it's over now, bro. You gotta get him where it hurts. You gotta get him on the field. You gotta burn him when you see him on the field. You gotta, remember that time Antonio Brown got laid out? Yeah, you gotta catch him on a block. You gotta crack back him when he is not looking the next time you on the field. Nothing else you can do, Juju. This is on record now. This is a picture on the internet, bro. If you don't lay that man out on the next time y'all play the Detroit Lions, I don't know what to tell you, bro. I can't help you no more. You from Cali, Juju. Do something.
He's not.
Over here trying to get the Cortland Finnegan Andre Johnson fight going again.
Yeah.
Juju been a sucker. Juju been a sucker. Remember he was doing TikTok dancing on everybody's logo until he got his ass cracked in Cincinnati. You
from the LBC, Juju. You got to hold it down, bro. You got to come on, bro. Hold it down, bro. Represent one time. The next time you on the field, dog.
I was gonna say, if you look at the footage, Juju started this whole thing.
You gonna Juju you need to leave.
That's what I was gonna say.
Technically, Patrick started this whole thing.
From the first picture that you showed, the first thing that came to my mind was, so what did Juju say?
Oh yeah, it was a lot of talking. There was reportedly a lot of talking on the field. And Juju Smith-Schuster is known for the playful talk. But of course, these players are not accustomed to hearing Juju make jokes and thinking it's funny. It's not funny to them. I don't care what you say. But whatever,
if you want to look back,
whatever he said, does he deserve this picture to be in
yes
the annals of history?
Yes. This with AJ Brown and the Eagles. This ain't the first time that Juju had something happen like this.
Yeah, it looked like he snitched too. Look, it was him. It was him right there.
Look at your coach, man. Look at your coach. All right, it's over. Like
if you want to dig deeper into this actually started with Patrick taunting Brian Branch in the end zone.
Yeah,
and then it escalated to where Juju had to open his mouth at the end of the game, and that set Brian Branch off. So if Juju just kept his mouth shut, we wouldn't have had. And if Brian Branch had just walked into the locker room.
Look, man,
we wouldn't have had this.
DBs ain't built like that.
Look,
contrary to popular belief. Yeah. Except for Jalen Ramsey.
Free Brian Branch.
All I'm saying is look at Andy Reid. Andy Reid is grabbing him and telling him, boy, it's over. You know what I'm saying? Take it to the locker room.
And he's like, I want a cheeseburger. Stop this.
Yeah, listen. Andy Reid is like your uncle trying to tell you, boy, you lost. Get him next time. You know what I'm saying? And you gotta hear him out. He's like, nah, but I want him now. No,
he looked like Jose Batista catching a right hook from Ringo Door.
Man,
which makes it even more imperative why you got to get rid of that Jalen Ramsey sound bite, because that sound bite came after he ducked the smoke from Steve Smith.
Hey, Jalen Ramsey got 2 sacks. He got 2 sacks, and
he ran from Steve Smith because he wasn't about that life.
Yeah, you know, it is what it is. Hey guys, man! Oh snap! Look at that. We broke past the second hour. This is ridiculous. I had no clue. But before we go, we gotta go ahead and throw it to my guy AP, and of course Miss April. Hello. We gotta talk about it real quickly. I'll give you guys 5 minutes to go ahead and talk about this because I know it's exciting. Oh my God, baseball!
You can count me out.
Baseball is happening right now. I got give me 2 minutes. 2 minutes, real quick.
Nah. I'm down because Seattle is beating the Blue Jays right now. So yeah, I'm kind of happy about that.
Yeah, I can't lie, yo. My man did the joint. It was cool. Got on there with Poppy. The Yankee lose. I thought that.
And with that, good night.
I laughed. I'm a Yankee fan. I had to laugh at it. I wasn't even. I laughed at it myself, April. I'm sorry, but yes, losing to the Seattle Mariners right now, beating the Blue Jays. What we looking like, Alan, in the NL right now with the Brewers not brewing, right?
Dodgers are going to sweep them. Mariners are going to sweep them. That's your World Series matchup. It's going to be the Dodgers and Mariners.
Are you calling it right now for us, Alan? The Mariners, Dodgers, World Series.
Mm-hmm. Brewers are brewing their way out of it. Brewers are brewing their way out of it. And the Blue Jays, I don't know where their offense went. They just haven't shown up. So
they Lil Vlad gave it all away up against the Yankees. Somebody else was having this conversation with me at work, and the point is because the Yankees are who they are, they gave it their all just to beat the Yankees, and now they have no gas to beat the Mariners. That's it.
Somebody said Brady turning to Volpe.
If you want me to be honest, the Blue Jays weren't even the best team in the American League. I think Seattle was anyway.
The entire time. Hey, well, I mean, the cream rises.
Seattle had the better overall lineup. Seattle had the better overall rotation. I'm going to be rooting for the Dodgers, but I would not be surprised if the Mariners won the World Series this year.
Wow.
They're not.
I will be rooting for Seattle. They have never won one, and
Ichiro.
yeah,
Come save the day.
yeah, Ichiro.
Yeah.
If Seattle does win, I just found this out tonight. If Seattle does win, we will have an entire division that has World Series championships.
Oh wow, that's cool. That's cool.
Wow.
The AL West, the Angels won in 2002. We won 2 years ago. Astros in 2017 and 2019. And then if Seattle wins this year, they would all 5 teams would have a World Series ring.
Maybe like the Astros, Alan.
Yeah, that's not a feat. Don't like all the majority of the freaking divisions in baseball all have championships?
I don't know. I just know we have 27 rings.
Wow.
Half of them was the black players wouldn't even lie. They don't count. Y'all got like 7.
Here we go. So hey guys,
We have 27.
so Alan,
like 7.
Before we get out of here, Alan, tell us what else you got on the schedule this week, man. With of course not just Rec Room, but LTS as well. What you got going on?
So speaking of baseball, we got our baseball show tomorrow. We're going to be talking about these lopsided championship series matchups and kind of seeing who's going to go to the World Series, and then maybe talking about some off-season stuff if it happens to pop up. But other than that, we got Lock It In this weekend. Both shows are actually going to be on Saturday this week. We're going to do Saturday morning college football, Saturday night NFL, because Tanner's actually going to be at the Raiders-Chiefs game this weekend. So we're going to be doing our show Saturday night instead of Sunday morning.
And the Raiders-Chiefs game is in Kansas City?
I believe so.
Oh, okay. I was about to say we gotta call Bobby. Okay, then okay, let's keep it going. So Alan, thanks so much. We appreciate you. Miss April, are you participating in any other podcasts this week?
Yes, I am. So Thursday, catch me with the guys on Audible Reacts after the Steelers bingo game.
All right, so we can't wait to hear you about that. And then of course,
but wait.
What's
Alan, what happens this weekend?
Oh no.
Alan, do you know what happens this weekend?
You mean we put a whooping on South Carolina?
Oh, yeah.
You mean you're coming to the South to get your ass whooped and then going back home?
Yeah. Even a one-armed John Mateer is still better than the Lawrence Sellers. I'm sorry.
Wow, not a one-armed John Mateer. Hey, Bobby G, man, before it gets deeper, Bobby G, what you got on the schedule for the rest of the week, man?
Okay, sorry, that broke me.
Hey, Thursday night, like everyone said, we catch the Audible Thursday night post-game show. We got that. We got our top 10 picks of the week. And we're doing that. And then Friday, the original. I'm making up words and shit. The original Audible Sports Podcast, where sports meets life and culture, where we'll be doing our NBA preview. Remember, the NBA season starts next week. So, we'll be doing our NBA preview on Friday. You're
back to back.
All right,
hey, damn! Remember what you said. I'm a Heat fan. Damn, I need a ring. I need a ring.
They ain't coming this year.
This year is going to be a totally different thing. Don't forget about we can catch that with. Here we go. We didn't talk about basketball yet. Don't forget you can catch me and the gang tomorrow for Head Kicks and Haymakers. That's right, Bobby Blunts, my guy Nick Botkins. We're talking more UFC. Oliveira had a great fight over the weekend. We got some more implications of what's going to go on. UFC 321 is about to come up. There's so much going on, and I am excited to get with you on Wednesday. But we will be joined by the Will Holloman next Tuesday. That's right, Will Holloman of Will Power of Legs right here in Jacksonville will be joining us to give us his NBA season preview and review, of course, of what will be happening. So I can't wait to talk to him about some basketball. And of course, we're gonna get Bobby in on this one because when we get excited about the basketball season, we got to get the whole team in here, and maybe we'll even have Jay, depending on what's going on with him. And
of course, will. He loves nothing better to do than hate on the Cavs. So he'll be there. He'll be there front and center.
We already got it. We already got.
I was going to say, Bobby, you were loving Monday night, weren't you? When Chicago won.
Ooh, listen, man. This season is looking like it's about to amount to something. I saw Zion looking like a whole other person right now. Cooper Flag running the point for Dallas. It's a lot going on, but I'm highly excited about this season. Oh yeah, and KD is coming to open up NBA on NBC in Oklahoma. Is that you excited about
on banner?
On
Banner.
All right, y'all, watch out now. KD might want to put up 40 just to tell y'all who really still got it. Okay, but anyway, y'all, you know what's crazy?
Nah, back to back. Let's go.
You had more time.
Yeah, once again, y'all, you know what time it is. It's the Red Room Sports Crew. So here we go. It's your boy K Whit, my #1 draft pick. Bobby G, of course, from Audible. We appreciate you. AP Allen, you know what it is, man. Thanks for coming back again. And Miss Jets Girl Cable, always a pleasure. Man, next Tuesday we are back again, once again with Will Holloman. We will be doing our NBA review and preview for 2025-26. I'm your host. Jay, where you at? We gonna be back. Peace.